So when you were a single practitioner, were you on call all the time, or how did that
Well,
work
that
out?
was that was really interesting. Just patterns we would see would be bar closing. Friday night, Saturday night, the phone would ring 1, 2 o'clock. You would have an answering service, and say, "Oh, okay, the cat's been sick for how long? Oh, 4 or 5 days. It's dying, doc. You gotta see it." And so you so often would have to go down the middle of the night. But then as time went by, we would hook up with other clinics, and like Lindale Animal Hospital had 5 doctors, so I'd rotate with them, and so I'd be treating some dogs at that time. So that made it a little bit easier, but. So often they would, we had after hours earns. We call it literally after hours earns. He'd call at, we'd close at 6. He'd call at 6:30, and have to come back down and see his cat. And so there was patterns we would see on that. But bar closing was always a huge thing because they were drunk and whatever. Yeah. And I remember one time it came down with this guy's cat, and sure enough, it jumps out of its carrier, runs behind the building and runs down the alley. And here it's 3 in the morning, going down there and start chasing after this kitty there. And I realized this isn't the best thing to do. We did catch it, but it was always a cast. Half the time when you looked at your bills, who did not pay, because we used to charge back then, it was the emergencies. There was a real pattern